Greetings, traveler. You have found yourselves in a realm of mystery, surrealness, and, of course, spoopy times. Today's what-if adventure is quite different from the usual fare, far from the typical paths these worlds tend to go. This time, we are experiencing something truly horrific, truly terrifying, and non-canon. Our tale speaks of a part of the dragon world, which many believe to be legend, or pretty much non-existent. It depends on what thing you subscribe to. Ideally this channel. But sit back and relax, as much as you can, and let us experience the terror of the Blackwater Mist. It was a night as grim as a demon king's frown. Everything was silent, all the way from West City to Nicky Town. All the reptiles of Mount Palzu were sleeping in their caves. In such darkness, it's better to avoid the human enclaves. But even the boy who gnawed on their tails tonight felt quite queasy. And if your mother ordered you to read so much, you would be just as uneasy. The boy was most envious of his father, marooned deep in space.
Oh, what adventures must he be having while I am stuck in this place? Oh, Gohan, please, that's enough, said his mother dearest. Turn off the lights and go to sleep. Good night, my baby fearless.
And so poor Gohan tried hard to rest, as darkness seeped into the room. Too bad Chi-Chi didn't know that tonight, dark spelt doom. That night, above everyone's weary heads, where Kami had his place, someone had snuck in, but left behind no trace. An ancient foe from olden days desired the Guardian's crown. The foe let out a foul mist, the dreaded Blackwater Mist, and in its wake, the world drowned. In this telling, he was not alone. A dark alliance he had made. A vampire demon who despised the sun was pretty easily swayed. The two looked in terrible awe, how the mist covered the land.
Look, Lucifer, there is no one to stop our plan so grand. This world so pitiful will soon kneel and cower before me. We will not be stopped by that foolish Kami and his warriors of Z.
They laughed together in the dark as the gloom kept slowly pouring, seeking for victim number one to make its night less boring. The desert bandit we traveled to and its cat were long asleep by now. Poor Yamcha, he got quite the shock to hear a growl instead of a meow. His good old fellow and friend Poir had been turned into a beast. Hey, why are you biting me? I'm not a cat food feast! But before Yamcha could realize that his fate was pretty grim, his fangs became proper wolf fangs, his life merely a whim. The next one to get struck by this heinous curse was the Triclops. The serious one had gotten even more dismal when Chaozu he had to stun. And then he had to infect him with this curse most heinous. The white of poor Chaozu's skin had now been replaced with grayness. As such, the army of the mist slowly, steadily kept growing. But there was one yet good soul that without the villains knowing had been immune to the curse. By Namekian blood, he was protected. When he was cornered by his old allies by curse, he was not affected. That is right. Piccolo was the one to put a wrench in Garlic's plan. Though all alone, against his friends, he could not save the sun. 'cause Lucifer's part of the deal was even more nefarious. Not only change people into beasts, but using machines various. To end the daylight once and for all, and never again let the sun rise. And even though the man of green was experienced and wise, he was vastly outnumbered by demons in disguise. They wore bodies of Gohan and Bulma, oh, and of course, Krillin. But their eyes were red, their voices sharp, their breath felt straight up chilly. It's not easy to fight your friends, even when you're big green. After all, you care for them deeply, just pretending to be mean. And so the day was done. Piccolo had to hide, like all the folk who, for all those years when problems came, were forced to wait for Goku. And as time passed, the earth was transfigured into a kingdom of darkness, with Garlic and Lucifer imprisoning Kami, rendering Piccolo harmless. But there was a glimmer of hope, my friends, coming from space, a return of a hero. A hero that was quite surprised that his welcome committee was equal to 0. As Goku left his pod from space, he quickly realized that there was something very wrong with the sunless sky upon which he gazed. Was it Frieza's anger after his defeat? Was it Pilaf's wish that made the world so bleak? Our Saiyan had to investigate. Move carefully with his new Yardratian technique. When he arrived home, he was terrified. Instead of a friendly dinner, he was almost devoured by his wife and son, no less. Who is the monster that was responsible for this mess? "Don't let them bite you!" shouted a familiar voice.
Piccolo, what happened?
Having an ally made him almost rejoice. "We have no time for this. I shall explain later." And so, the two had to regroup in a Saiyan space pod crater. Then Piccolo told Goku about the whole terrible tale of Garlic and Lucifer, which made Goku pale.
They imprisoned Kami? They got rid of the sun? It sounds to me like the bad guys have already won.
The only way to throw Garlic down from Kami's throne is to put that monster back in the dead zone.
So what do? We're outnumbered. I don't want to hurt our friends, but for our blood they hunger.
Piccolo pondered, looking pretty formal. That's it. It's decided. We shall summon Shenron and wish them back to normal. So they came to Capsule Corp, the former bastion of ingenuity, to acquire the Dragon Radar, restore the Dragon Team's unity. They had to fight a bloodthirsty doctor and his hungry, voracious wife. Luckily, together, they came out victorious from this bizarre strife. The radar was hidden inside the confines of Bulma's room. This trusty device will surely save Earth from certain doom. And so, the Namekian and his Saiyan companion visited every lake, every mountain, and every canyon just to find 7 wish-granting crystal balls and hopefully watch on as the evil plan falls. But when they called the dragon, something went disastrously wrong.
What has happened to you, Shenron? Were you corrupted all along?
They quickly realized that the nefarious bandwagon has used the Blackwater Mist to subvert the dragon. All the demons and all the vampires were therefore summoned, and the circle around them started shrinking and closing. Goku looked at Piccolo, making one last joke before his mind was taken.
I really hope, my friend, that you taste like bacon.
And so they kept fighting, as the Vampiric Legion kept growing and growing. But their story ends here, without us knowing If they had survived, did they run away? Or have a sensu bean? Garlic had won, but that's Halloween. There's no reason to panic. There are still some Dragon Balls back on planet Namek. I do hope this tale of filler has not unsettled you, dear viewer, as the time of light and sunshine grows ever fewer. Leave a comment below to tell me of your thoughts. Did this fill you with thrills or make you most fraught? Until next time, all I wish are for days greater and greater. And as always, my listeners, I shall catch you later. Oh, by the way, the video's over.